Hi, this is Lara at Elliott Wave Gold with your daily analysis for Wednesday 16th of April. I'm recording the video 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've got some pretty amazing weather here, as you can see from that little icon, and it's playing havoc with my internet connection and power supply. I was expecting to see a little bit of upwards movement followed by a new wave downwards to a new low below 1282.6, but not below 1277.79. We haven't got there yet. The situation's pretty much unchanged. Price moved sideways in a very small range. I think that we may have a triangle completing, and I expect price will break out of the sideways range with a short, sharp upwards thrust, and after that I'm expecting another downward wave, still most likely to make a new low below 1282.6, but not below 1277.79. Let's have a look at the charts, and as I said, the situation is pretty much the same as yesterday. Primary wave 4 is still most likely in a sideways moving combination. The first structure in the double combination was a zigzag, so the second structure, which begins here, is most likely to be a flat. It could also be a triangle, but at this stage that possibility looks really unlikely. So intermediate wave Y is most likely to subdivide as a flat correction, which subdivides 3, 3, 5, and it should end about the same level as intermediate wave W at 1434, because the purpose of combinations is to move price sideways. Primary wave 4 may not move into primary wave 1 price territory above 1532.90. There are still two possible structures for minor wave B down. The first two hourly wave counts look at the possibility that it may itself be unfolding as a flat correction, subdividing 3, 3, 5. And the second looks at the possibility that it's subdividing as a double zigzag WXY. Let's look at the first hourly wave count, where the end of minute wave A, which subdivided as a three-wave zigzag, will be off to the left of the chart, and this high up here is this point up here. So within minute wave B upwards, if the bigger structure on the daily chart of minor wave B down is a flat correction, then within it minute wave B up should reach a minimum 90% the length of minute A. So overall, this first hourly wave count eventually requires movement to 1380.82 or above. Within minute wave B, so far it's most likely subdividing as a zigzag. This upwards wave, which ended here, subdivides perfectly as a five-wave impulse. So within the zigzag, we need a three-wave structure down for a B wave, which can't move beyond the start of A, below 1277.79, and when it's done, we'll expect a 5 up for the final C wave to take price above 1380.82. Minuet wave A lasted about 9 days, so I'd expect minuet wave B to last at least 3 days and maybe up to 9 days. So far it's lasted 3 days, so it's unfolding pretty much as expected. I expect we have A, B is incomplete, and then we'd need C down. Within this small upward B wave we have a 5, possibly a triangle completing for micro B, and then we need another 5 up. If subminuet wave B ends about 1312.69, then it would reach up to the 0.618 Fibonacci ratio of subminuet wave A. So that's still my expectation for a short, sharp upward thrust when the sideways moving possible triangle is complete. When the B wave up is complete, I would still expect a 5-wave structure down for a C wave, which is very likely to make a new low below the end of A at 1282.6 to avoid a truncation, but can't move below the invalidation point. Alternatively, this first alternate wave count looks at the bigger possibility from the daily chart that minor wave B down is subdividing as a double zigzag. Everything's absolutely identical to the first hourly chart at this stage. The only difference is there is no minimum upward requirement for an X wave within a double zigzag. Alternatively, if instead of seeing this upwards movement as a 5-wave impulse, it is just possible that it could be a 3-wave zigzag. So that bigger picture on the daily chart, which sees minor wave B down as a double zigzag, within that double zigzag structure, the X wave could have been over at 1331.29. This wave count has the lowest probability of all the 3 wave counts today, because if we see this upward movement as a zigzag, then the final C wave has to subdivide as an ending contracting diagonal, except the wavelengths are wrong and the diagonal is neither expanding nor contracting. The 4th wave is longer than the 2nd, but the 5th wave is shorter than the 3rd, which is shorter than the 1st. So the actionary waves are getting shorter and the reactionary waves are getting longer, and the trend lines barely converge. So that has a really strange look. I expect that this wave count is very unlikely, and I'd really only want to take it seriously if we see price move below 1277.70. That's all for me today with your gold analysis, and I hope that all our members are having a fabulous weekend.